The Hitman series has been delivering incredibly ambitious and creative stealth games for over 20 years now. The latest entry, Hitman 3, aims to neatly wrap up the trilogy started with 2016's Hitman reboot. But does this title give Agent 47 the grand finale he deserves? This is Miles with Windows Central Gaming, and here's our review of Hitman 3 on the Xbox Series X. From a presentation standpoint, Hitman 3 delivers on all cylinders. This game is absolutely gorgeous and filled with beautiful, diverse locations. From sprawling vineyards to snow-capped mountains and even breathtaking architectural monuments, it's pretty hard not to just stop and stare at the scenery. The large, open-level design introduced with 2016's Hitman has been nearly perfected this time around, with far more small background details sprinkled throughout the 6 stages. Performance on the Series X was also consistently impressive. Even during crowded sequences with dozens of NPCs, frame rates seemed to stay locked at 60 FPS. But what are marvelously designed sandbox stages without some tight, fun gameplay? Thankfully, Hitman 3 provides the most polished and satisfying stealth combat the series has ever seen. In classic Hitman fashion, you are given the freedom to assassinate your targets in almost any way you please. From subtle poisonings to staged accidents, or even good old-fashioned hails of gunfire. How you get the job done is really up to you. Each mission rewards exploration and introduces fresh new ways to kill or subdue targets. This, combined with an updated challenge system for each stage, adds a ton of replayability. And if completing challenges isn't really your thing, you can always turn to the endless joys of smashing someone in the face with a banana.
Where it gets real.
Please!
In addition to offering arguably the best Hitman gameplay, Hitman 3 also manages to drop some of the best missions in series history. The epic opening cinematic sequences set the tone for the first half of the game's larger-than-life set pieces. Some of the biggest standouts include solving a Knives Out-style murder mystery and squaring off against a group of rival assassins in a nightclub as DJ-47. IO Interactive clearly spent some time refining this engine and enriching the player's murder-filled sandbox experience. And to sweeten the deal even further, anyone who owns Hitman 1 and 2 can play those existing missions in this shiny new engine via Hitman 3. While the first half of Hitman 3 is packed with exciting missions and clever interactions, the tail end of this game unfortunately loses a lot of momentum. Without getting into spoiler territory, let's just say that if this were the true ending to the Hitman series, it'd be ending on a pretty flat note. There's still plenty of fun to be had in the later missions, thanks to the game's brilliant sandbox design. But compared to the highs of the first few levels, there's sadly a noticeable drop in quality. And due to the fact that there are only 6 total missions in Hitman 3, this really puts a damper on the overall experience. Not to mention that you can easily play through all of these missions in 6 hours or less your first time through. With that rough playtime in mind, Hitman 3 in some ways feels more like an expansion than a full, proper sequel. If you're someone who owns Hitman 1 and 2, you do have access to all the previous stages as well, adding some serious value to the total package. But if you don't, you might find yourself running out of things to do in a dozen hours or so. Replayability is a big part of what makes this game fun. So ultimately, that will be the deciding factor on whether or not Hitman 3 is worth your time and money. For fans of previous Hitman titles, Hitman 3 is a must-own. The enhancements to the game engine and newly revitalized stealth formula offer rewarding challenges with almost endless replayability for some. Fun gameplay with loads of freedom is on display during every single mission, even the ones that don't deliver quite the same level of excitement as others. The cost-to-content ratio might be a little rough for players diving into this new Hitman trilogy for the first time, but there's no doubt that fans of stealth games will have a blast exploring and murdering in these carefully crafted sandboxes. What are your thoughts on Hitman 3? Will you be picking up this game at launch? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. For more Xbox and PC content, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.